Is America racist? Through this debate have launched many other debates. Launched the debate on the usage of the word Uncle Tom. And those who know the story, Uncle Tom has been used in a very inflammatory and twisted way. So you've got that debate going on. Then, surprisingly to me, you have the debate of House Negro going on. When I say the debate, we're debating on House Negro. Wait a minute, Marcus. What do you mean? What is the debate? Well, there are several people in our community that glorify the House Negro. They're probably descendants of them, is why, and that makes sense. But the House Negro, to some folks, that's the one that taught the little field Negro children how to read. That's the one that took the scraps that the master gave him, and then his scraps. Or he probably took a couple of the scraps that the master, and then took it out there to the little niggas in the field. Then they say that when the House Negro could overhear a plan of action, a violent plan of action against one of the little niggas in the field, then the House Negro would run out there and drop the dime. Are you serious, man? Listen, we are in a modern day Reconstruction era. People are nervous. The powers that be are fearful because they see it's inevitable. We're in a special era. Living legends dying off every other week. Many of them right here in the A. Several in your city. We in our 40s, in our 30s, in our 20s, with the ancestral guidance, with the elders, it is going to get rougher before it gets better. You just got to know this, and you got to be willing to endure this. Don't be satisfied with this little bit of change. Protest reform legislation going on all across the country. Voting rights reform going on all across the country. Fucking with your voting rights on a false premise. Is America racist? Every time you turn on the TV, you hear the first black man has secured this position. The first black woman is now the director of such and such. Every super blood moon, you'll hear the first Hispanic man has reached this status. The Hispanic woman, they just really have as the domestic experts of resorts and hotels. Is America racist? Breaking off an executive order for our Asian brothers and sisters. Is America racist? The only country to ever drop a nuclear bomb. Is America racist? Every document by your founding fathers was written. The thought process, the debates, the editing, the final draft was done by all Caucasian males. Is America racist? Hell, you left out sexist. What a failed opportunity. Former Attorney General of California, former United States Senator, current historic Vice President Victory. What a failed opportunity, Chucks and Pearls Howard, AKA, what a failed opportunity to not teach instead of rubber stamping, justifying. See, when you speak from a position of what we would like to be, what the hope of this country is, yes, we can. You can't speak as if this country is not racist because that is what our goal is to be. What kind of fool is you, huh? In the words of Baba Ancestry, real Dick Gregory, my man, what kind of fool is you? Is America racist? criminal justice system riddled with hate crime laws. Is America racist? So don't give me that bullshit from some of you intellectuals who have your truffle infused tea and crumpets. We're not talking about the past. You damn right we ain't talking about the past. We're talking about right here, right now. Nah. And anybody that tell you different, man, watch them. If they're necessary for whatever reasons, watch them. If they're not, cut them off. Cut them out, cut them off, ostracize them. The disparities economically, the disparities as far as who is criminalized and penalized. White folk capitalized off of our ancestors and profited within that capitalization. Is America racist? Reparations for slavery.
Back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They'd send some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. He put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master. Good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh, yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes. I'm a field Negro.